So I think that one of the most important things that you can do as a teacher of writing is write. And I say that for a lot of reasons, and certainly I'm sure those words inspire fear on in a lot of people's world, because when you write, you're vulnerable. It's putting thoughts out there, and we don't all have training, and we make mistakes, and we struggle, and we can't think of ideas, and we can't spell a word, and we can't punctuate right, or we're not sure it's a run-on. Like, there are mistakes that we all feel like we can make as we write, and they're real, and they're scary, and they're embarrassing, and we don't want to put ourselves out there and feel those things. But kids feel those things too. And so I think that one of the biggest reasons that we need to write as teachers of writing is that it gives us empathy, and it lets us understand how it feels to have a blank piece of paper or a screen facing us and go, oh gosh, I have no idea what I'm going to write on that. Or, oh gosh, what I'm saying isn't coming out right. What do I do about that? So those are really important feelings to have, and to validate, and to understand, and to make feel okay for not only ourselves but for the students that we're working with in our classrooms. But I think another reason that teachers have to be writers is that we start to understand the craft better. If we are reading other people's writing and we're trying to teach from other people's writing, we don't understand the thinking process and the cognitive work that went into the creation of that piece. We can guess at it, but we don't know if that piece was written start to finish and came out just like that in one foul swoop, or if that somebody worked on it and changed this word and changed that word and added that sentence or changed the other sentence. And we need to share that process with students. That's part of our work. That's part of the craft of teaching this way. Giving ourselves the space and the place to have those struggles as writers gives us powerful teaching points for our students. So if you are wondering where sometimes you're going to come up with teaching points, sit down and do the writing and think about the cognitive work and the metacognitive work that's happening, reflect on it, and you have a whole pile of teaching points because you've gone through the experience and tried it out. I think another really important thing that happens when teachers write is that we can create strategic pieces of writing. And I really don't think that we can underestimate the value of those. If we want our students to improve how they use dialogue, then we need to write a piece of writing, of our own writing, that doesn't use dialogue well, and then show the students how we are going to fix that. That is a use of a strategic piece of writing where we've purposefully left something out that we want to teach, so that we can use our own writing in order to build that in. So in addition to all of the teaching power that being a writer gives you as a teacher of writing, being a writer and using your own writing does another really, really important service to your classroom, and that is that it shares you. It builds your sense of community because you are sharing parts of you. Writers pull things from their heart, and they pull things from their lives that matter. And the more that your students know you and know what matters and understand your heart, the more of a culture and a community and a beautiful place and a safe space your writing workshop will be. Students won't feel safe to write stories from their heart if you're not writing stories from your heart. You know, I think one of the fears that we all have as writers is that we can't think of things to write about. And the truth of the matter is that one of the things that's fun about being a writer when you're working with students is that you get to tap into your childhood self. You get to go back and you get to remember the things that happened in your life when you were about the age of these children who are sitting in front of you, and you get to share those. You get to create the stories that go along with those, and that does two purposes. Number one, it gives that sense of community, and it humanizes you for the students who are sitting in front of you, and it gives you incredible teaching material to work with those students, because you have these stories that you've created that you can show them your teaching points, and you can show them how you use the instruction. So enjoy the process of going back and remembering what happened to you when you were 10 or when you were 12 or when you were 8, whatever age you're doing. But harvest those stories and enjoy sharing those with your students. You'll end up loving it, and they'll end up loving it too.